to your presentation.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So yeah, it's actually perfect, the talk that I had just, although it was just before me, right here, because I'm actually also going to continue with the topic of how infrastructure can lead the way of automation in the construction industry. Maybe my video should be working. Good morning, everyone. Exactly. So the topic for me is actually why is there so little automation in the construction industry nowadays. Well, actually, we do have production facilities that have a very high level of automation. Driving is also getting more and more automated in our everyday life. Vacuums are also automated, but so far we have actually very little automation in construction if we put it into perspective on a worldwide level. So I wanted actually mostly to suggest with my little contribution to a potential way to finally be able to develop, or I should say adopt, new production methods in the industry, as we have actually a massive need for build structures all around the world, and we also have to need to cater to that need at the fastest speed with the highest resource efficiency, and with a problem also of having a massive shortage of workforce, partly already right now in some countries, for example in Germany as well, but I think also in a lot of in large chunks of the world. So when talking about construction, I think it's also important that we also just think about which construction we're actually talking about. And a lot of the latest startups I've seen emerging also on the market have often also been addressing construction topics that are linked very often to building typologies such as commercial or housing buildings, which are indeed like some of the most common typologies that we see ourselves every day. But this part of the industry has for me a very large disadvantage. It is steered heavily actually by financial forces. Is it like directly as the driver of construction, financial crisis, construction comes to a stall 1 or 2 years later, as well as actually inside of the value chain, where also there the very segmented industry does not enable actually to have the financial forces inside the industry to actually have a very high automation or a very large degree of research and development for the production. We also have what I was mentioning is construction companies in general. I mean, there are exceptions, of course, and there are also local initiatives, as we have also just seen before. But construction companies in general are very reluctant to have investments in machinery, as machinery is actually also a liability during an economical downturn. Furthermore, the construction process is often not in the focus of a real estate development project, as the return on investment or the renderings, for example, to be able to resell what you just built, are actually more in that focus, but not the production process. They're also often linked to like short-term projects, led actually by these financial forces, such as, for example, project developers, which also do not provide the time nor the need actually to invest into a more efficient production. So the value is actually in large chunks of the industry, not in the production process. The value is in the land and in the resale value of projects. So actually, if we stop looking at the topic of scale, for example, in terms of like housing units produced, we might be able to find actually also another element that might be helpful in order to be able to scale and develop robotic solutions. And that would be actually the time scale of projects. And this is, I think, where we also come very quickly in the topic of infrastructure, which has project times that are a lot longer usually than classical housing or commercial buildings. So then it would be actually about what are infrastructure owner operators, or why would they actually be drivers of that automation in the industry? And so owner and operators of production facilities, actually, in the broader sense, as these buildings are actually just tools for the production of a service: power plants, water supply, transport systems. These type of potential clients do particularly care about the availability efficiency of their systems, and therefore also about the construction time and the methods, as they're also going to be recurring events in the life cycle of infrastructure facilities. So when looking, for example, at subway construction, we constantly have construction on the existing network for maintenance, but also we have to extend, modernize, and adapt the network. So it's going to be a continuous need. We have now, for example, in my case, a network for 50 years, or more than 50 years now, running. And our current construction projects are running for around 20 years coming, which also means that the budgets allocated often run also in the hundreds of millions, if not in billions, which in combination also with future maintenance and repair work that are going to happen in these pieces of network, we have actually a massive chunk of money that which partly could also be steered towards R&D.
Stéphane, may I remind you as well as the next speakers, not only to you, we need to extremely look at the time, because we run extremely late. Goes not only to you. Sorry, it's just for everyone. We need to speed up because of the technical problems we had in the beginning. We're running late.
No worries.
Thank you.
I'll try to be done in 2 or 3 minutes then.
Yes, sorry for that.
No worries. So another advantage actually is owner operators actually that we have also the option to create a control, connected, and monitored environment, which would be similar to a factory environment, because our network is ours and it's going to be ours. We might as well just implement what would be available in a factory 4.0, classically in all our buildings. As regular operations also on a day-to-day basis can also benefit from the digitization of the assets, which are also key in order to be able to roll out automated solutions for construction and inspection and maintenance. Maybe I'll go then quickly about a few challenges in the infrastructure construction, and I think these challenges is screen for automation. One classical topic being the dangerosity of the tasks. We're talking about, for example, high voltage or train operations, which of course are always linked also with many safety measures, which are also cost effective or cost sensitive. And the longer the construction time is, the more actually the secondary costs linked to safety measures are as well. Topic of logistics as well, infrastructure can be also very challenging. So thinking, for example, about subway construction, 100 feet on the ground and in the middle of the city center, bringing in and out machinery, but also construction rubbish or construction material is also very difficult. The other thing is the time slots that are allocated for infrastructure construction. It is not easily possible to just shut down operations at any time. 8 hours at a time.
Stéphane, we need to